Yes, Fiona.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
I'm fine.
She's Phiona Olikiliza, a mentor given to me by Lucia Olikiliza, one of our former clients we worked with.
GOA stands for African Growth and Opportunity Act. It's a trade arrangement between sub-Saharan African countries and the United States, whereby the AGOA eligible countries can export to the US quota-free and duty-free.
TechnoServe is an international NGO. Our headquarters are in Washington, D.C., and we are working around the world. In Uganda, we've been here since 1995, and we are supporting entrepreneurs. We do support people who are in agriculture. We do support the youth, and of recent, we have a lot of emphasis to women entrepreneurs.
I find this program really useful because it's targeting employment. The Ugandan youth are not employed, and that's what they need. And where do they need to get employed? They need to create their own jobs. They need to develop their own products. So I find this youth entrepreneurship program really a very timely and a very exciting venture.
It's good for the youth to embrace business as a profession. There are few areas that can take up these youth who have graduated from the universities. So like if the youth are given capacity to improve on their business skills, I believe it will be the biggest employer in the next few years to come.
When I met Fiona, I was very excited because actually one of the companies that I work closely with is already exporting leather sandals to the United States. It's called Seco Designs. And I'm familiar with the challenges that company faces, so I know how I can advise Fiona in product development, in marketing, in training, for her making contacts with the company. She doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. She can learn how the other company succeeded that we work with as a unit.
You may be having super products, but if the market is not there, you will not prosper. So my interest is to make sure that whatever she is can be in a position to manufacture or produce has a market.
I have worked with companies on handcrafts, like there's a lady called Rachel, who I was recently with in Mexico, providing training. I have worked with a lady called Lucia, who's developing recycled paper bags. I'm working with 2 companies in Gulu that I'm going to visit actually tomorrow. So I'm very familiar with business incubations, and I have seen them progress from nothing up to the export market.
Basically, we've not been incubating businesses, but we've been supporting people who have been in business. For the Women in Men business, it started in 2007. And from 2007, we had the first batch of women who graduated in 2010. Those were 105. Then in 2011 there were 250, and now we have over 850 women who are on board.
I looked at your product which you left here last time, and what do you think of your sandal?
Well, I think my sandal is good, although we can do with some improvements. We need an external observer who can say, you can improve here, you can improve there.
Where do you get your materials?
The materials, I get them from downtown Kampala, all of them.
First, I'm grateful, I'm thankful that as a young person you decided to start your own business and that you are producing something for the Ugandans that can be worn by Ugandans. But when I looked at your sandals, first of all, just from hearing, this suede, you said you get it from?
We buy jackets and other clothing, then we cut them.
This one?
They are gentlemen's belts, they put on jeans, we buy them and cut them.
Okay. What is the cost of your sandal? The materials, what do they cost you?
For each sandal, it goes between 9,000 and 10,000.
That's your selling price?
No. That's what it costs me to produce it before I can sell it.
And what do you sell it at?
I sell between 12,000 and 15,000 when someone is taking wholesale, and 20,000 if someone is taking
one. Yeah, just looking at your sandal, it's first of all, you can see the threads, the spaces don't match, you know? There's gaps here, and so the person who's doing for you the workmanship needs to improve on it. The cutting, I don't know what you're using to cut, but it's not cut in a proper way. This is one pair, but look at how this one is cut, look at how this one is cut. I'll just compare it to you with a sandal that's being exported to United States. If you look, this is the way yours is cut and the way they're completely different, so you have to improve on that. Okay. But I can assure you, what you're doing, you are on the right track. If I found this sandal and I wanted to know who makes it, it's not branded. There's no branding. There's no company name, so you need to do your branding. So what my office can assist you with is training. I can talk to Seco Designs because they do for the export market and you do for the local market. You are not in conflict. So I can put you in touch with Seco Designs so that you improve on your work. But one, my first advice, open up a business name because you are just working as a person. So if you were to access money to the bank, or if I was going to market you, I can't market you as Phiona. So my first advice to you, put your idea into a business form. Open up a business name, register your company, so that even when you begin to brand, you're just not branding as Phiona. Of course you can brand as Phiona if you want to call your company Phiona Company Limited, or you want to call your sandals Phiona Sandals. But still, you must be registered.
I need advice so that I can know better how to penetrate the market.
I'll give you a simple example. Look at this.
Yes.
Just look at this. This is Seco Designs marketing their sandal. So, one, for example, you told me you sell your sandals in a supermarket.
Yes.
If I went in a supermarket, is your sandal visible? How do you market it there? I don't think this costs a lot. This is a very good marketing tool. Phiona, I'll show you a few products that are going into the American market and also those that we are just beginning to work on. For example, you know that beading is an old tradition. So now we are working on this one, developing some ladies to do the beading work, so that we can export some of the beading work to the United States. But I'll show you a few products that are actually going into the American market. This is a basket by Uganda Crafts 2000. See what I was telling you about branding?
Yeah.
It has to go branded. It's a Uganda product, handmade by widows, youth, and disabled women. Do you look at the workmanship?
It's very neat.
It's very neat. And with the United States, of course, it's also based on color scheme. Do the colors match winter? Do they match summer? Do they match autumn? And these are 2 baskets, different, for different seasons. This is a summer product. This is a winter product.
She is Marilyn Mungereza, the team leader, Women Mini Business. She's the lead behind the biggest entrepreneurship program being managed by TechnoServe. We have over 450 women on board, and she's in charge of coordinating all that work. So I believe you'll have very good interactions, and you'll tap through her wisdom and knowledge as far as business is concerned.
I need some guidance and some tips on how to get reliable people who will take my product and pay me, rather than we produce 10,000 pairs of shoes, sell them but not get the money.
But the products are being bought.
The products get sold, but sometimes I don't get the money. Yes.
Do you have a business plan now?
In my head I do, but not down on paper.
Yes.
Yeah, not down on paper.
I might want to put it on paper and consider the costs of each option and the value that each of them brings. It may not be a bad idea, because when you rely on other people's supply chains, it has advantages but also those disadvantages. That you're part of their creditors. You have to wait for them to pay you. That's money outstanding, and yet you may benefit by having a mix. Approach the market on your own, but also allow others. You don't have to have a very big shop or in a very, very fancy place, because the price of the shoes is, it's average. An average person can afford the shoe, which means you don't need to be in a very expensive, you don't have to go to Garden City, you don't have to pay rent in dollars. You may find a smart place, in a reasonable place like Wandegea, and you pay some rent, but your volumes move. Like may want to do a business plan, go through the financials and consider the avenues of going to the market. It may be worth exploring.
They need to start. Starting is difficult. Many people want to start big, but all the companies that I have dealt with actually start small. But they are creative, they know their product, they work on it for a long period of time. That is, they are consistent. They should be persistent. Because many people just dream of an idea and they think straight away, I can begin to export it to the United States without knowing that where am I getting my material? What is my product made of? How am I able to keep supplying this product? So they need to be determined, creative, consistent, and they have to know their product, and they have to know that
All the youth should focus so much on starting up businesses. They need to work hard to grow their business skills. They need to develop themselves. They have to look at capacity. They need to build their capacity. If you are in manufacturing, make sure that you grow your capacity to do good products.